First of all, we gotta have this conversation.
Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies close.
I gotta have this convo with Cheech because like we were just talking about how when you have the Ring app, you can just type in like a little 4-digit or 5-digit code, so no one really uses keys anymore. And then like I told him, oh yeah, my girl got the passcode to my house. He's like, well, what? Wait, so your dog don't got it, but
no, I was confused. I thought I knew you before your girl, but maybe it's backwards, right?
What's your stance on this fact?
It sounds like what you're saying to my dog Cheech is that he ain't throwing no pussy, so he can't get the code to the house.
That's what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm hearing too. You know what I'm saying? If anybody should have the code, it should be Cheech, man.
And listen, we have a
like
business.
If you're going on vacation, you need like a house sitter or something. Dog, I know you're gonna call this nigga.
So
Who else you gonna call, dog?
The opportunity hasn't presented itself where like Cheech had to be at my house before me yet. That's all I'm saying. But I would have gave him the password for sure.
I didn't even know he had that option.
How many times you been at my house and you hasn't seen a keyhole? All I'm saying is having your homie be inside your room before you is kind of nuts. That's kind of nuts.
What does your room have to offer, though? You got like a PS5 in
no,
there.
That's a cop out because he has a living room. There is cap.
Okay.
Welcome to another episode of
These Are the Aesthetics.
I go by the name of Cheech, a.k.a. the Hood Journalist, a.k.a. not my bitch, not my problem, a.k.a. call me an event planner as of right now. I mean, so yeah, man.
Shoot, man. I go by the name of Gary, a.k.a. In Gary We Trust, a.k.a. Stop Wearing LeBrons to the Club, the shit's ugly.
We have a very special guest in the building, entrepreneur, DJ, mogul, all around personality,
and a longtime friend.
For sure. Pat is here. AKA DJ Renaissance P. I ain't gonna hold you. The first time I heard that drop at the club, I'm like, who the fuck is Renaissance P?
DJ Renaissance P, aka the Moist Whisperer. No, I'm just playing. More than a DJ. I'm here hanging out with the fellas. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to be here on Drink Champs.
Round of applause.
I love this show. I watch you guys all the time, man. That Connie episode, man. Loved it.
We already fucked up. We weren't even supposed to say Pat because we're so used to. We've known Renaissance P for years.
Yeah.
So we're so used to saying by the government.
Yeah.
I even told these niggas ahead of time, don't call me Pat on the mic, bro.
But
it's okay. I don't really care, y'all. Like,
yeah,
I'm not that person.
But how you feeling?
I'm gonna call you P, Skateboard P. How about that?
Yeah. How you feeling, man? How's your mental health? How's the week been treating you?
Everything is good, man. My birthday tomorrow, and I'm sitting here bringing it in with y'all niggas, man. But I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all been rocking with me so long.
If you don't got a girlfriend, just say that.
Round of applause.
Happily taken, okay? But listen, like, I know y'all boys so long. I think y'all actually been to every single one of my birthday parties, bro. Because I started really throwing them when I was maybe 22, 23. Like that time, so.
1,000%. How old are you turning tomorrow?
Oh, God. Talk 30 to me, y'all.
Ooh.
Okay.
That means he's charging 30 at the door.
Hey, if you want him to do your event, he needs $30,000.
You feel me, man? I need to see a 3 and a 0 before any number.
I can't wait to see the $30. Oh, $30. It's going to be 15 before 12. Meanwhile, there's some clubs out there that hold niggas at the door at 11:30. Hey, man, I've been here since 10:50, bro. Nah, they're going to start letting you in at 12. Oh, it'll be $30.
All right.
I know all the tricks. I know all the tricks.
I have one question for you. Are you going to be like the bird-ass bitches on Instagram that says, ooh, come to my dirty 30 party? Because, they call it the dirty 30.
Nah, and that's why I switched it up and I called it Talk 30 to me. But the thing is, I'm not even pushing that. Like, I have a flyer that says that for my party this Sunday, but I also have a regular generic flyer and another one with just me on it. Because the Talk 30 is just to announce that I'm turning 30 tomorrow. But I don't really care for the gimmick. it's just another age. You know what I'm saying? I don't really set my limits on how old I am. You know.
I feel you. And plus, black don't crack, so.
It don't, man. Like, I know I don't look 30. I probably won't look 30 till about 60. So.
Yeah, word up.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
You should.
I don't look marvelous like you, bro. But I'm out
Marvelous.
here. Marvelous.
Gary, start us off. It's funny we got him here because we just saw him at the brunch on Sunday.
Bro, that was crazy.
So let's talk about that a little
That was
bit.
crazy, though.
Oh yeah, so pretty much, I guess we're going into the fire cap segment.
Yeah, why not?
All right, so getting into the fire cap segment, since we're going to talk about, this is where we talk usually about like the fashion s topics. So one thing I noticed while we were at the what is it, the FML brunch?
Yeah, for my ladies.
For my ladies brunch.
For my ladies.
I thought it was like fuck my life when
We
it comes
all
to
did.
see
Oh,
the
if
prices.
it was a white party, it would have been that, but it's not.
Good thing I put the parentheses
Yeah.
under the FML because a lot of people are like, why are you saying fuck your life, bro? It's a brunch. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get that drunk, bro. Like, what you mean?
I just thought like when you say fuck my life when you see the prices for the bottles.
Contrary to popular belief, we have the best bottle prices in the city. I'm just saying.
It was pretty funny.
So looking on the flyer, I even asked Cheech. I'm like, yo, Cheech, what should I wear? Like, what type of event is it? Not knowing, it's like, wait, niggas is throwing this shit. But then, I try to give it the benefit of the doubt, like, hey, maybe they probably like changed a couple things up, because the flyer said dress code enforced.
1,000%.
Now, Cheech, was there a dress code?
There was. The brunch is supposed to be semi-formal, pretty much casual with just a little sprinkle of formality. Like we didn't want to see any bonnets, gym shorts, flip-flops, slides, or anything like that. But it got to a point where when you dealing with us, niggas, it got to a point where niggas that bought a section or a cabana was just hitting my line saying, bro, I really want to do your shit, but it's outside, bro. You telling me I got to wear a suit outside? I'm like, bro, why is formal in the black community have to always be a suit?
That's why you got to say semi-formal or like business casual. Those
Business
are the
casual.
words
But fam,
that give people
Pat,
the okay. I agree
Pat,
with you.
you throw parties and you host events before.
Yes, sir.
You know there's so many things you could list and write on a flyer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You feel me? So it's like we wanted to keep it short and brief, but it's like we just didn't want, we wanted the aesthetic of the brunch to be classy, and we wanted to attract like an older and more mature crowd.
One thing I learned, once you say dress code enforced, people actually try.
Yeah, they try.
Yeah,
there's
they try.
majority, yes.
Yeah, there's two things I learned. You put either dress to impress or dress code enforced.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you're doing these flyers, you might want to switch that up every week and like rotate those two phrases
Oh, that's-
because
I
it
think
makes
it's
people
different.
dress up differently.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you tell a girl dress to impress, you will not get that text saying, "Can I wear sneakers?"
1,000.
You know,
Oh, I
I-
better not
I-
get that text.
I get
Can
that,
I wear
I
sneakers?
get that text weekly, bro.
Nah, I hear you.
Weekly, and I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
bruh, like you don't even want that. Like, do you really want to wear sneakers, shawty? Go ahead, but everybody else is here on a mission,
Yeah,
Yeah.
1,000%.
See, shout out to Milo, by the way, for taking the pictures. I posted my little pictures of my little hot ass.
Yeah,
Everyone's like,
Gary was showing the chest hair. He thought Gary was looking at like somebody's uncle out there.
Oh, in fact,
so I was like, because it says like, dress code enforced, dress to impress. I'm like, you know what? Let me just wear my little Dior shirt, like khaki pants, and I have my little off-whites on. So everyone is on this, this is Gary got money, this and that. So I go into the event now. And of course, I see Terrence, his little button up,
Yeah,
his
of
freaking dress shoes. If Terrence put on a little outfit, he think he the flyest nigga.
Oh,
man.
yeah, of course.
So as I walk into the party, I'm like, okay, I see a tracksuit over here.
Mm-hmm.
I see jean shorts over here.
oh, man, John Cena.
All I'm saying is like, but all right, I just want to talk to like when it comes to going to a party that says dress code enforced. My issue is like black people, we have to put in effort. So my issue is why am I seeing tracksuits? First of all, wearing I hate the tracksuit in general. It's not fit for Florida.
And it's lazy too, as well. Yeah.
That's one. You already know, like, so then I actually saw a couple that was one woman was in a bonnet. This dude was in a dusty black t-shirt. It doesn't look like they lived down the street. They just came in because they heard music.
Yeah, true.
And then on top of it, like, fam, I think the nastiest outfit I saw a nigga wear a full-on Jordan freaking sweatsuit.
Oh my
My
God.
dog went to House of Hoops and said, "Bet,
Yo,
Yeah,
I'll take that."
The mannequin challenge.
The mannequin. Like,
Bet.
I know I might sound like an asshole, but it's like, what do you say to someone at the door where it's like, hey, I know people are like, all right, it's not like Banco where it's like no ripped jeans and Jordans, but it's like, fam, I can see your toes.
Yeah, you should. I mean, like I said, we tried to keep it enforced, but we got to. This is the hurdle we got into because the people that were spending money. Obviously, if you run a business, you want to accommodate people as much as you can, especially if they're willing to invest. So we kind of started giving a little leeway to the people that had a cabana because we're like, you know what, you're gonna be in your own section, in your own zone. You're not really gonna be walking around, so you're really not gonna be being like a bad influence to anybody else. Because no matter how you come, like people are gonna be dressed the way they dress. So we had a little hurdle with that, but I'm gonna use that advice to dress to impress is definitely
There's
gonna
so
go
many
towards
different
the next
wordings,
fly.
bro. Because sometimes if you put dress code in force, unfortunately, you're gonna scare away some people.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So you gotta like switch up your wordings, man, because you don't want to be the next Banco. You don't want to be the next any bunch that you like. You want to be the original. You want to be the next you, the next FML. You know what I'm saying?
And by the way, you niggas are not slick. We can tell if you just went to Cream last night and bought this fit. Like
Last night before they came.
Fam, it's the same shirt, same shorts,
Not gonna lie,
same socks on the mannequin. You literally robbed the store and you came here.
I had some people come to my store and they literally asked for outfits for FML. You know, like
That's dope.
which is dope. You
That's
know
a
what I'm
good
saying?
feeling.
And like, I try not to make anybody look the same that was out there. You know, but I was on that DJ booth and I was like, oh, I made that.
That's fire.
That's
I
dope.
made that.
That's dope. That's dope. But yeah, man. But overall, it was cool, man. We saw, some people definitely came through and showed out. You feel
loved
me?
it, man. It was
I
fire.
definitely did not expect to do all the walking that I was doing in those boots. But it's first time for everything. You live and you learn.
That's the
So
last time I wear designer kicks out there too. By the way, man.
Oh yeah, me and designer shoes is just.
It's not worth it. But
Not worth
it's not worth the long days. Like if you're just going somewhere for an appearance or just for a little bit, like at my birthday party, sure. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm only there for like a few hours. But spending a whole day walking
Exactly.
stairs, bro.
How
nah,
them Doc Martens treat your feet that day.
bro. I couldn't walk, bro.
I saw you in boots. I saw you in Dior shirt, like you said. And it's funny because the original outfit I had on, because I saw the dress coded for us, I had like a little zip up penguin. You know what I'm saying? It was really fly. I went with my outfit and everything. Then I got there. I'm like, it's outside.
Yeah.
That part wasn't on the flyer.
Yeah.
So I went to the car, took that shit off. Luckily, I had another outfit that matched the kicks I was wearing in the car that I made. And I was like, all right, I'm going to throw this on. And it worked out fine, bro. But it was just funny. And then when it finally got cold later, I went and grabbed that jacket that I originally had. And my outfit was like on point. So a nigga went through outfits in one party, bro.
Oh man. Well, since we're in the topic of outfits and fashion, there was a little bit of outrage with Polo this weekend.
Or Ralph Lauren.
Or Ralph Lauren. Black people, relax. I know how you guys feel about the Polo, and sneakerheads, relax. I know how y'all feel about the Polo Bear. Now, Ralph Lauren has a campaign that they're doing with two HBCUs, two historic HBCUs.
Morehouse College and Spelman.
Yeah,
Respective
Morehouse College
colleges.
and respective colleges. But soon as the images came out, there was a little bit of backlash, right? I saw these photos. I immediately sent them to Gary. Gary was trying to cape for them. But I told Gary, hey, no matter how you spend this, it's fucked up. Because I already know what the usual thing is going to be, right? Oh, they got a black photographer. Oh, they got a few black designers that came up with this idea. Oh, we did it at a black college. Oh, we did it at this. We did it at that. It's all excuses because when it comes to these brands, these designer brands, the first thing I think about is who's in the head of that brand, who's the owner, who
okayed
runs
this?
it, who's the creative director, who okayed it. Ralph Lauren has a good, track record with the black community, but at the same time, he's in his probably 80s by now. You get what I'm saying? He was raised in a different time where we were not seen at our best. You get what I'm saying? So as much as you can employ people to reflect your vision, your brand is still going to be intact, your brand. You feel me? No matter how many times you collaborate or you trying to hire people, bring new energy and stuff like that, it's an American brand reflecting American values and how the American person is able to live day to day with the clothes that he makes, right? So my issue is just, I feel like there was better representation that could have been done for that, because there were politicians, there were people, campaigning for freedom back in those days. So it could have made us, look a little bit more victorious, more militant, more poised, more calculated, more. You get what I'm saying? I kind of feel like, in one of the pictures is a group of women in all white on a cornfield or
It's
the fucking.
Hold on, we're not even taking that.
By
a lot of bullshit.
By the way, we gonna put these pictures up. Okay, they were in a grass,
open grass field.
Open grass field. Okay, cool.
What's on a cornfield?
What you
What
trying
does
to
it really mean, though?
exactly what you trying to translate with that? Cool, fine. And then there's a picture of this guy with a suit, but you could clearly see like he's either a politician or a revolt leader, or he was just like a preacher at a church. Then you saw a dude that looks like he was running from a whole bunch of white people with his pants up. Wait, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. It was not tastefully done. They could have done better. They could have tapped in and found some good highlights over those years, because they covered from the 1920s to the 1950s. There was definitely some prominent black towns around that time. You get what I'm saying? You could have represented people that probably got their freedom first around that time. So I just feel like, since they were covering colleges, it was cool, but it was like, we had the Negro Leagues back in the day, and some of us were not even allowed to play for certain teams or go to certain colleges. It was just like, fam, it's too soon, right after Black History Month. It was a little too crazy for me.
Ralph Lauren, if you are watching, you need Cheech, the event coordinator. The newly found event coordinator.
Yeah, man.
To plan your photo shoots for you for historical black moments.
He needs more people to advise him on what would look aesthetically better. But
I guarantee there was somebody at that table that was black and agreed to this.
Oh, 1,000.
This is great.
But a lot of niggas do shit for a check too. But let's go to Gary now.
I'm about to get into it. So I'm read off this little paragraph right here, just explaining the collection.
Oh God.
So Polo Ralph Lauren's director of concept design and special projects, James Jeter, is a 2013 graduate of Morehouse College and the creative powerhouse behind the capsule collection. Jeter drew inspiration from old Spelman and Morehouse yearbooks of the collection. The designs will pay homage to the styles worn at the Spelman and Morehouse from the 1920s to 1950s and showcase the sartorial, if I said that word right, prestige and distinction present of HBCUs during that era. Now, one thing I always want to chime in too, this is the first polo campaign with nothing but black, like just a whole black cast. Black photographers, black models, especially models that went to the schools. And keep in mind that the director right here, James Jeter, he's only 30 years old. He has this big campaign at just 30 years old. Now, I want to say is, I understand how the images could look, but as far as someone who's been paying attention to polo for a couple of years, like if you watch Complex's polo, like basically documentary, I remember when we all know, like when two big names you think of polo in Atlanta, Big Boy, Young Dro. Now those two always showcase the different elements. Like Young Dro and Big Boy always told us that, hey, there's more to polo than just the actual collar shirt. There's a cardigan, there's slacks, there's little loafers, there's knitted sweaters and all that. Of course, Kanye himself. So I always looked at it as like, I understand how like the pictures can perceive as like kind of like Jim Crow era, slavery, this and that. I understand. But you got to remember what people were wearing back in the 1920s, 1950s.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe that was the idea, though.
Mm-hmm. You could...
Like, but what Cheese is saying is that they went a little bit too historic.
Tourist store.
Just because you're at historical black university doesn't mean that you do the photo shoot at an old cotton field. You know,
I understand,
like you said, it's
because the
field,
pictures.
but it's just like I get it, like because I seen some of the photos. I didn't see them all, so thankfully you about to pull them up. But I agree with you, man. Like
It's just the pictures. I understand. Like, I'm not gonna lie. The picture of all the women, that one I don't agree with. That one looks a little crazy because the reason why I don't like the reason why I don't like the picture one with the women because it doesn't look fly in my personal opinion. It doesn't look like something women today would wear.
So wait, are they trying to sell this today?
Well,
or
it's a
was
collection.
it just for the photo shoot?
No, it's a collection coming out. Like everything that's here is gonna be sold.
Okay.
So the only thing is just one thing before
the women's one,
before you judge the pictures. It was trying to capture black excellence back in the day.
So now I have two things to say, right? I have a question, first of all, for Gary.
Yes.
So now, Gary, right? Yes. Do you think the guy, the black person behind this, was more so excited to represent his culture properly, or was he excited to finally collaborate with a brand like Ralph Lauren?
I'm gonna say go with both. I'm gonna say both. Because the thing is, like, that's just perception at the end of the day. Because when you think of culture, when you put of 1920s and 1950s, if someone like, if a big company asks you, oh, we want to do a collection on the 1920s and 1950s, you're not gonna have the women wear booty shorts.
Got it.
You're not gonna have the men's wearing 3XL t-shirts. You gotta remember, like, especially our grandparents or great grandparents, they always had a preppy look. My grandfather always wore suits. He even wore a suit to the airport. You have to think about the times.
Okay, so now my last thing, right? They clearly said those looks were stolen. They were inspired by the looks of those people back in those times. If they were living in a certain town to go to that school, that suit was not designer. It was not made by, you feel me? It was not made by a white designer. So a black person from a local town probably tailored those suits. You feel me? So I'm upset because it took somebody like Dapper Dan damn near 20 years to get a collab with Gucci after he was like doing his own representation of that or replica of his version of those things. You feel me? It takes us a while to get recognition that we deserve. To me, it would have been more fly if the photo shoots were done in a better spot. You feel me? Us playing a sport, cool. Us in class, cool. It's supposed to represent school, right? Cool. Us doing things that are not like just standing there looking crazy or just being thankful for an opportunity or for a photo op. Cool.
Yeah, these niggas
but
look happy to be
it's
free.
just that. And also, I would appreciate it more if you guys went to those towns and see if there was some old school tailors that are still alive to kind of bring those looks back, because these were the people that were creating those looks. You feel me?
They're probably dead, 1920s and 50s.
I understand, but I'm just saying, like, it's just like, to me, it was just like, okay, cool. This is a money grab for me. Let's look through some old yearbooks, see some looks that were popular across the board from these three generations. Because let's face it, black people are always up ahead on style. You feel me? I would not be surprised if there's a lot of styles that they stole back in the day from just watching us in our neighborhoods and go back to the suburbs and replicate that, and everybody in the country club looking fly. So to me, if you're going to pay homage to something, you got to go all the way. You can't just like nitpick what you want to represent. You literally got to tap in with the culture. And he should not be the only one or the only person that was able to, to do that. I would appreciate it if he had some older advisors and older fashion heads to really guide him through that.
Man, this might be like just an opening door for him and just that movement in general.
And that's why
it's
I say it's just a
It
collaboration
definitely
that
is
he
a
was
little
excited
late.
about.
I think it would have been more socially accepted maybe in February,
Well,
But then again,
I
it's
think
just
that
like,
would have been crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no matter like
the
when
backlash should be a little bit probably more.
yeah,
on
no
that
matter
side.
when you do it, it's gonna be a problem, and that's the problem that we're having with our community in general. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so hard for one black person to be proud of the next one when there's just so much like craziness going on. But we all want to support each other. We all want to do Black Dollars. We all want to do that too. So it's like weird. Like it's like hit or miss, man. I don't know.
And this is the last thing before I go too deep I want to say on this. Ralph Lauren, if you want to truly make a change and represent like our culture and fashion of that era, how about you open a sponsorship at these schools and buy a building there and create a scholarship for fashion to facilitate students that are interested in fashion to eventually work for you? Because all the big names of all the successful people that later make it, they have a building named after themselves at that school. You get what I'm saying? We see it all the time. So
I understand your point, but you have to look at it as like people. I think when I looked up like articles on Instagram, I didn't really see much backlash because I think it was very clear that like a black person did design this, and the reason why people are gonna like back it as well is because like one, a black person did design this for Polo, just like how we celebrate Salehi when he did the chain sneakers, just how we celebrated Virgil at Louis.
different message behind it, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I get it. But I'm listen. I'm glad and I'm happy for that young man, and hopefully that cracked the door for more opportunities to come. So whenever we get to sit at those tables, like
yeah, man.
Hopefully, let's see what this turns into.
I've been in some rooms, man. And there's limits to what you can actually produce
by yourself,
especially with fashion. You know what I'm saying? Being that I too am a fashion designer, you just gotta like understand that it's not always about what you think looks good. You got to look at everybody in your current mass. You know what I'm saying? Your target demographic they're trying to get. So with him doing this Ralph Lauren thing, I think he held back a little bit and didn't do the things that you said earlier because it might have been too black. You see? Even though the message is a black message, he couldn't go too black, and it's kind of obvious. And then he also went a weird route with the photo with all the women too, because that was
that
just like,
one
that
was the one that
that one is crazy.
You went historical, bro. Like you went
that
too
picture.
Far back. I don't see that being sold today. Like like he kind of got the message, but also like I don't know. That's a missed situation. More power to him. Yeah. I hope it gets supported. And like you said, I want to see more people doing it. Shit, I would even work for Ralph Lauren. But it's just a matter of it got to make sense.
Yeah, but everyone just like, get back to us. Let's like write in the comments because clearly, like with this topic, it's we're three black men here and we're all pretty much divided in all our opinions. So I just want to hear everyone else's opinion on this.
Chime in for sure and let us know what you think.
I'm gonna look at the comments too. Because
I know we're gonna get backlash. We'll get praise at the same time. Hey,
especially me, man. Watch.
Well, just because Pat's here.
Speaking about racism and that involves black people, there's been a few things that Gary noticed throughout the week. Like I wasn't hip to a lot of stuff, but it's kind of a yin and yang. Like Gary put me on to sometimes the shit that's happening that I'm oblivious to. And since he got a big ass fucking family, this nigga always got some shit happening every fucking day.
Week.
So I'm gonna let you rock on this one, bro.
Man, got more tea than herbal, bro.
Jamaicans, I like it. It didn't go over my head. I like it. So pretty much, we named this subject "Racism Still Exists." I originally wanted to name it "Black People Just Naturally Have to Be Aware of Their Surroundings," but obviously that title is too long. But one thing I want to get, there's a couple things I realized about like why black people have to be more self-aware, no matter what setting they're around or going to.
Socially conscious as well. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So there's a story about like my uncle. My uncle works for ADT. So he did what he usually does. He goes to someone's house. He greets the person who lives there. Goes in their house to set up their security system. So I don't know what the fuck happened. So he's doing his security. He's doing his job. Then all of a sudden, I guess he triggers another freaking alarm that some other dude that the guy has for another company. I'm like, first of all, if you have two security systems, you're doing something illegal in your house.
1,000%.
That's all I'm going to say on that part.
It's like, how's Arby's still in business, man? That's drug money right there, man. That man's telling you something.
That's a front for something.
Yeah, man, that's something. The feds right there, dog.
So as like my uncle's doing his job, I guess like the second alarm system triggered, and then my uncle is like in the kitchen, I guess trying to figure out how to turn it off. And then keep in mind there is it's a white man, and then his son lives there as well. So the son comes downstairs, and then my uncle turns around. There's a gun to his face. He's like, "Yo, what are you doing in here? What are you doing here? This and that." So thankfully that the father came and said, "Oh, he works for ADT. What are you doing?" So his son puts the gun down. But then again, it's like I understand that like you might be like kind of like weirded out though. There's a black man in your kitchen, but look where the fuck like look what he's wearing. He's wearing uniform. ADT workers,
Not a fucking ski mask.
ADT workers do not pull up in a freaking like wife beater and shorts. They wear freaking those blue collared shirts or t-shirts. And there's probably an ADT truck right outside your house.
Yeah.
Like
it's the middle of the day, bro. Too like what do you mean?
it's the middle of the day, so like obviously thank God like my uncle is safe, but I don't know like his mental health. I don't know how what he's been going through this week. So that's just one of like how like. To all my people who go to different people's houses every day, just whenever you go to someone's house, just make sure you greet everyone there. I don't give a fuck if they're asleep, they're on their way here. Just make sure you notify the owner of the house that hey, I'm on my way over here.
You know what's crazy?
Not
to cut you off, but it's funny how you saying that now because as kids, I don't know if you ever experienced that. Whenever like a stranger comes to the house, like your mom would call you out of your room
That's a fact.
to come say hi.
Yeah.
But I used to find that very annoying.
Yeah.
But imagine like now if that white kid was raised like that, then if they heard somebody inside, they would have poked their head out because that's what we used to do.
It's a cultural thing.
Like
too,
whenever somebody new come to the house, like your mom always got to drag you downstairs. Hey, so and so is here. Come say hi.
Come say hi.
You feel me? So
and we don't know how strong the communication is between the son and the father because maybe they just don't communicate to a certain basis where it's like, oh, there's gonna be someone in the house.
Man, they could have been arguing that morning, bro. You know,
G shit.
And
Fuck you, dad. Like
those neighborhoods, man.
But I think I think overall though, it was supposed to be a communication between the dad and the son,
For
like
sure.
I told Gary, because if you got somebody coming in to fix something in the house, because God forbid this nigga was heading to work, you feel me? And he says, oh, it's okay. There's nobody here. My son is asleep. Just go ahead and do what you got to do and close the door behind you. Because you know white people, they don't really believe in locking doors. You feel me? So it's like, let's say he was nonchalant like that, and the kid wakes up, and he just shot first and asked questions later.
He should.
It would have been, oh, another one of those like, oh, I got the wrong house, or I thought he was about to do something.
Because he heard an alarm, that whole situation, he would have been
It could've-
defended in a sense.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
that probably would have. Yeah, he would have won in court.
He would have won in court, and then that's sad to say, you know. But thankfully, that's not what happened, and the father was there and stuff. But that's just
Yeah,
wild.
my uncle could have clapped for doing his job.
Yeah,
That would've been
you know
crazy.
what I'm saying? So definitely check on your uncle, bro. Like,
For sure. I've been
I
trying to
know
call
you're
him,
doing
yeah.
it, but just do it even more. Maybe
It's a
go
fact.
over there. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
I-
Niggas need hugs too, bro. You light skin.
I mean,
y'all do that, right?
I told Gary personally, I would either one, sue that guy, two, ask the company to no longer have him as a customer because this is just improper overall.
You don't just pull a gun on somebody.
Well,
You should.
number one and number two, you had a formal email or something that tells you I'm coming. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like
Multiple phone calls and emails saying, "Hey, I'm on my way. Come
and
here."
you know,
Reminder of your appointment, bro. I know how ADT is, bro.
and you know what's crazy? You wouldn't do that to the mailman. You wouldn't do that to the UPS
Anybody
guy,
else,
the Amazon guy. So it's like
G shit. But if it was a white dude in his kitchen, hey man, you want coffee?
exactly. So that was a little wild for me.
Example number two, Ryan Coogler. You guys know the director of Black Panther and many other movies and Creed as well. Goes to the bank, minding his own fucking business, and then the people at the bank thinks he's robbing the bank.
Yeah.
Man, he probably has more money than everybody in this bank put together.
I read the whole story. So what happened was he was in the bank. I guess there was a few people in line, and obviously he has money, right? He's in a city. Like, I think the city was Atlanta. So he went to the teller and he wrote a note saying, "Hey, I would like to withdraw this amount on my account." I think it was like $12,000.
He probably just didn't want to say it out loud.
But he says, "I'm just trying to do this as discreet as possible." Because can you imagine your teller saying, "Sir, how would you like this 12,000? Do you want it in all hundreds and 20s?"
And
Like,
mind you, they do that shit for real too.
They
Like,
should. Loud as fuck.
but knowing banks and how banks work, because I have friends that were bankers, and you know his girl works for a bank. There's a certain level and amount that you ask for, they have to pull you in the office or take you somewhere so they can make sure that they count it and they make sure they give you the proper.
And that you leave safely because
And that client is just not a regular client that's taking out $200.
Yeah, because I hate when like the banks like sometimes they'll ask me what I do for a living because I got a business account. So it's different types of funds coming in there.
It's like a part of small talk that's not small talk.
So like they'll ask me what do I do for a living, and I kid you not, I change the answer every time I go to the bank because one, they're actually not supposed to.
No, that's none of their business.
Two, it's not their business, like you said. So I remember one time they asked me recently, and I was like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm the bag boy at Publix. I never took the promotion because you know how some jobs, if you don't take the promotion, you always get that same raise." So I started thinking like different scenarios that people might not believe.
OnlyFans.
But your OnlyFans is just some shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like invasion of privacy for one, and two, like, you're talking too loud, man. Like, calm the fuck down. Like,
And before you pull out a gun on somebody, can you ask me for my ID? Can you ask me who I am? Can you detain me? Or can you say, sir, could you step to the side real quick?
Or knock me out, maybe.
Yeah, what happened to the officers that says, sir, are you okay? What are you doing
he
here?
heard the alarm, man. That's what it was. Yo.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
so-
like impulse,
especially if you're sleeping and you hear the fucking alarm and nobody told you an ADP guy or whatever is gonna be there. I don't know the scenario. You know
I understand.
what
You're in
I'm
defense
saying? So
mode, but-
Yeah.
But that's just wild, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, and
Come on, man's in the suit, bro.
do shit. And last example, this one is kind of hard for me to have a little bit of sympathy towards. I don't know if you guys know WNBA player Brittany Griner. So she was actually, I guess she was in Russia. First of all, I don't know why you're in Russia around this time. Just one. Maybe she has family there. Who knows? That's none of my business. So, so she goes to like a Russian airport, and they find I guess a weed pen, or just like a
vape pen,
a vape with like CBD oil or whatever in there. And I don't know what the rules are of Russia, but I'm pretty sure they're clearly different than the States. And my issue with that, and now she's like, she got caught with the pen, and now she could be serving. She's like, she could be serving up to 10 years in a Russian prison. Yeah. Bro, at this point, it's like, for having one little weed pen that's legal in majority of our country. And at this point, it's like, damn, maybe she's damn near like a hostage in this freaking country now. So, and I was telling Cheech, is like, why this shit bothers me is that, yo, like, when you go to even different states, cities, different hoods, different countries, when I went to Canada, I didn't even bring a nail clipper.
Facts.
So, like, and it really, I didn't bring an umbrella. So I just want to tell black people, we have to naturally be more self-conscious, self-aware, do some research on the place you're going to.
Always do the research, because even in some states, like, in Florida, you could turn right on red lights.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can't do that up north.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Like, a lot of places you can't do that. And even certain levels.
The zoning laws are different.
Yeah, laws are different. Even like the percentage of your tints is different than what it is in Florida than in other states. So if you're planning on traveling, man, really do all your research, because, as someone that has had, the benefits of being able to travel as much as I have, you got to really, really, truly be aware of your surroundings. And even like in a dating aspect too, like if you're dating somebody from a different culture, do some research before you go to their home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
take your shoes off.
Take your shoes off, all types of things.
That's a great point.
Because like, people got all their little like
rituals
theories about Haitians, for instance, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm Haitian. But it's like, even I know to not go to certain Haitian homes than just do anything or just say anything. Because you don't know what people really got going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't know people's beliefs, what they may think of you when you walk in a certain way, things you say. It's just weird, bro. You just gotta be careful out there, really. Protect yours, man.
It's a fact.
This particular story is kind of bittersweet. With the WNBA star getting caught up in Russia that.
I'm upset about it.
Because for we've seen better examples. We've seen what happens. Like, all athletes are not like we're not treated equal. We just saw what happened to Sha'Carri Richardson. You get what I'm saying? So it's like learning that, knowing how it's like a white person could have done it and nothing would have happened to them, and knowing that you are not in your home country, knowing that they only want your skills and they don't necessarily like you, knowing that you just a work for hire, knowing that you might have just a permit to visit there. It's just there's certain things you should not even be doing. And it's like, yo, once you got there, you have enough money to literally, there's weed everywhere. There's illegal drugs in every country. You would have found a way to do what you got to do. It's like, yo, we got to, and it just, what upsets me is just, it makes us look bad. Because it makes us look like we can't survive without drugs. Our name have to be attached to some drug-related story. It's like, fam, it's bad enough that half of us is coming from the ghetto, where it's drug-infested, there's crimes, and there's this and there's that. And now, I worked my way out of that as a professional athlete. Now I can sit at the white table, and now that stigma still gets attached to me because of the dumb decisions that I make. Is just crazy. I'm really disappointed, realistically. I'm not even mad.
And we just learned about like that other country stuff too. Like, who was it? It was ASAP, right? That guy
Yep.
locked up in another country.
Yep.
And
like,
Lil Baby got arrested in Paris, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's happening very often, and even in different states, like you said, like Chris Brown got arrested in West Palm, when he was about to perform. So it's just like this stuff happens very often. Like you just gotta really be careful.
Bro,
like do your research for real.
Fam,
for real.
they arrested Kodak at Rolling Loud a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like before you go
don't
certain
care, bro.
places, do you have a warrant?
Yeah.
Or you like fam, like. Or you driving across state lines? Some places got a checkpoint. Do you have a valid driver's license?
I remember one time
Do you have car insurance? Like
Yeah.
it's just so many.
I remember I was trying to book an artist to come out. I won't say who it is. But I was trying to book an artist to come out in Florida, and they literally had to refund my money because they realized that they got a warrant in that state.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I was like, bro, that's just some BS. Like I wanted my B-Day to be like, the thing, but just
I
because
hear
of this dude's mistakes,
Yeah.
Hey, man. And the great words of Stephen A. Smith: "Stay off the weed."
That might be the title, but I know it's gonna piss a lot of people off.
Like,
Oh man.
Smokey the Bear.
Oh my
oh, yeah.
god. So our next topic, I call it the different styles of leadership. Obviously, shout outs to DJ Slim. We just started a venture together. We started the FML Brunch, which is for my ladies brunch. It's each and every Sunday at the Bamboo Room from 12 to 7, right? It sounds like I'm giving out a commercial, but I'm really not. I'm just
Shameless promo, man. You got to do it. You got to do
hey,
it.
man, go after church, man.
But
Bring your blessings to brunch, all right?
the reason why I came up with this topic is I noticed Sunday there was different styles of just leadership between me and Slim. I do things a certain way. He does things a certain way. His tone is different with certain people. My tone is different with certain people. You get what I'm saying? But what I liked is like we both established who was running what and who was doing what. You get what I'm saying? So, but it was kind of funny.
Make the dream work.
It's a fact.
So it was kind of funny. Slim is such a nice guy, right? He's diplomatic. He's the most political nigga you ever gonna see. He's trying to make sure everybody is happy. But I'm coming in, with my Gary coat, being the realist now. Now I'm coming in saying,
I'm a numbers guy.
I'm coming in saying, well, this can't happen, or we paying this person, this behavior is not tolerated. You get what I'm saying? Or why do we have to care about somebody's mental health when they already prepaid and they can't come do the job? If the DJ did not have a full hour set, why we pay him the full amount? So it was these little things that, I quickly realized, like, I do business different than Slim. But
wait, I got you. Why have one chef with 400 people?
You get what I'm saying?
If y'all need a visual of what Cheech is trying to say, here you go. That's what he did.
So it was just like I had a bunch of questions, but as a professional and as a business person, I had to literally keep my mouth shut and just observe. And what I did and what we grade at and what we did at the end of the night, we had a conversation over the observations to see what went what. And what I realized is this nigga knew he knew exactly what was happening. Yeah, he just had a different reaction to it because he's used to just that.
Hey,
I'm not used
to experience does that.
I'm not used to running a brunch. That was my first time doing that. I'm not used to being in charge of a group of women. I'm not going to go into details on what that takes, but it was just like a learning experience for me. But at the end of the day, I'm like, it's not such a bad thing because it's like he has his style, I have my style. As long as it's for the greater good, as long as we have the same objective and goal in mind, it should work. But as someone that has ran events and I've been doing this for a while, like, how do you go about it? Like, what's your go-to leadership style when you throw an event?
Smoke weed. No, I'm just playing.
Every day.
Every day.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, guys. Dare.
Stay
off the weed. Nah.
But if you have a cannabis company, we can display your ad right here.
But nah, you got to just treat it with every scenario differently. Like you said already, it comes with the experience aspect of it. Like you learn, and you're gonna see for yourself too that over the weeks you're gonna start, your tone's gonna change a little bit differently. You might end up like Slim, but still be very assertive and making sure that your words are being heard. Because when you can see the things happening before they happen, you don't get mad. You chop it up before it does, and that's what Slim was doing. Because I was at the brunch, I saw
He
him.
was very calm, collected.
He was calm, and he was running around to every situation and ending it before it happened. Even like when I was like, "Yo, do you want me to DJ?" He was like, "Do it. Let me go do this." Like because I knew what it was, man. If you know like one person in that brunch, or like one of the girls or something, is really emotional, check on her. You know what I'm saying? If you know one that gets sick pretty often because of anxiety, check on her. You know what I'm saying? And I know it sucks to kind of be like you have to check on everybody, but you do.
Yeah, that's the role.
Especially because they're making your party what it is. Your staff is the most important people there besides yourself, man.
1,000%.
And then your customers too. You got to make sure that they're all happy. So if one bottle girl is not attending to a table, sorry, Cheech, you got to go talk to that table. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was doing.
And
Y'all saw my boots on damn near.
Bro, and I do it with all my events, man. I don't care if I got to bring out the damn bottle at this point, bro. It's just like, yo.
Oh, no, I was a hookah boy. I was a bottle boy. I was everything.
You got to do what needs to be done, bro. Like, make sure everybody's happy, bro. That's the main thing.
I already know what the bottle girls are going to say.
Listen,
like, I don't know if he wants service or he wants to fuck me. Like, that's always a scapegoat.
No comment.
Before I let Gary chime in, because Gary was actually there, because I'm curious to see what his observations were. I quickly learned that there's a difference between these 4 words. When you being stern, when you being affirmative, when you being assertive, and when you being mean, or when you being a fuck nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just I quickly learned the tone that is attached to each. And the behavior that is attached to each. And as a leader, I feel like you kind of have to master these skills because you're dealing with, because as somebody that is managing the event, as a manager, as a leader, period, you have to learn how to manage the people and you have to learn how to manage the expectation of the company or whatever event.
One thing I'm going to say about being a manager, you have to understand that not everybody has quote unquote common sense.
1,000%.
And it's entirely true because it's like what you may have grown up and realized is common sense, they didn't grow up that way. Or if they're younger than you, or just haven't been through that much life experiences, like it was kind of they were fed their whole life, they're not gonna notice certain things. So what's ticking you off, like, yo, why wouldn't a DJ do his full hour? That's common sense. It could have been something like, yo, I don't even know because I would do my whole hour. But, it could have just been something going on with him mentally or like he noticed that maybe it didn't sound good or he came late because of whatever happened, this and that. But, yeah, common sense, not everybody has it. But,
For sure. So, Gary, as someone that was there, what did you notice? What would you suggest that needs to be improved? Because you already highlighted the food part, so we already know that one. But talk to us.
Well, like, as everyone knows, like, I don't leave my house ever. So the only reason I wanted to go out, I wanted to support my niggas. You know that. And it was, actually, thank you for everyone for showing me love, for coming out. Because every time I come out, everyone says, yo, your girl let you outside the house? Every time my face is outside. So, I think overall it was a really dope event. Like, it gradually got bigger and bigger. And I do see, like, the success for this brunch. And one thing I do want to say, I'm just glad that us as Black people, we finally have our own brunch.
Thank God.
We don't have to keep funding the Bancos, the Lenoras, and all these other establishments. Even though, like, no shots to them besides Banco. I don't really care about Banco, but it's just good to see Black people spend money with Black people. It's just basically evolving the Black dollar. Of course, but when it comes to Black events, some nigga shit always gonna happen, of course. One thing about common sense, ladies, if you don't have any fucking burgers, if you sold out of burgers, stop selling burgers. Like literally, and just like women, it's just customer service is customer service. Just because you brought a Hennessy bottle and ice, you know that one bottle is not gonna last for 7 hours for 8 people. Go back.
Yeah, because they might need a hookah, they might need a water bottle, they might need wings, they
Red
might
Bulls,
need food.
bro, yeah, man.
Because whenever you drink a lot, you tend to get hungry afterwards. You get what I'm saying, or you eat to prevent from getting a hunger.
Where my shots at, man? I'm hungry, man.
Yeah,
For real.
Some shots to eat.
I'll cape for the woman a little bit. I understand it could get like nerve wracking when it comes to like dealing with with niggas when it's even when niggas is drunk, because you don't even know if they need more service or they're just trying to fuck you. And on top of it, but woman, you have to remember, you're literally getting paid and you're not naked. You're not naked.
And it's one of those things where like you gotta. If you,
It's nasty, nigga.
that boy said the next bunch is anything but clothes, y'all. ABC, you know what I'm saying? FML ABC.
I don't think they heard me.
But pretty much it's like, yeah, just ladies with the customer service. If something's sold out, don't sell it. And one thing I have to say it again, the food. If there's 400 people and you have one chef, you might as well not even sell food.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So like I was saying, it makes you gotta know if you're gonna be entertainer, if you're gonna be a bartender, bottle girl, MC, DJ, anything. You gotta understand that your job requires you to do your job, to entertain. So you gotta take out your personal feelings and just go in there and do it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta switch to entertaining more like that. I've had the DJ before and had some crazy news of like somebody close to me like passing away or something like that, But I still got a job to do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta entertain. So don't get too stressed out if you're new to the field, and you can do it. Clearly, whoever hired you sees that you can do it. So go out there and show them. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So now, sir, let's focus on you for a second before we leave out of here.
Marvelous.
One of the most important questions, or something that is always, like, whenever your name comes up, it's something I always wanted to ask you is, how do you and your brand, try to stay relevant in a city, or try to stay relevant or adapt to scenarios in a city like West Palm Beach? Because it's not like, I know you have different gigs in the other cities and stuff, but this is where we live. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And you have your own nights at our local club. So it's like, how do you maintain the mystique and always carry the brand so people always make time and to come see you every week?
It's called, number one, staying humble, and number two, staying to the hustle. Okay. If you humble and hustle, everything else kind of comes naturally. To stay relevant, you gotta listen to feedback and not necessarily change who you are, but change just certain things. Like all we're talking about right now with your brunch, for instance, you're gonna make the proper changes.
1,000%.
And that's how it's gonna keep evolving. It's gonna last. I'm fortunate enough to say that I've had a successful night for 4.5 years now in West Palm. And that's really unheard of.
Rare for DJs, yeah.
And I've been doing my nights for 4.5 years, and what it is that I constantly put new gimmicks in there, whether it's new lights, new DJs, new promoters, new bottle girls, new bottle specials. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta really stay hungry
and entice the people.
Yeah, and then you learn a lot of that too if you travel more too. Because like you said, I have gigs outside of the city. Like I also have a successful night up in Jensen Beach on Saturdays, and I don't live there, but it was just based off of a marketing aspect, just looking at what does this city actually need? Do they need Renaissance? You know what I'm saying? Or do they want Renaissance? Once you can figure out those type of things, you're good. Your brunch is needed because like Gary said, it's a black brunch, and you don't see that too much. And aside from the color aspect of it, it was a very professional and fun brunch. Even though it had
no bullshit, no fights.
No fights at all. And the only people that know that things went wrong is the niggas that was behind the doors.
Yeah.
Me, you, Slim, and everybody else, who was involved with it. And Gary, because you told him. But other than that, everybody just saw a great time. And they're asking me when the next one is, and I'm not even part of the thing. But that just tells you that it's good because, as you said, I'm that person in the city that's doing these big events consistently. So if they're asking me about your thing, You did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Round of applause.
Round of applause.
No, don't worry about it, bro. It's gonna come to you, bro. I'm always here if you need anything, man. Just
Oh,
call
no.
me,
I'm,
you know what I'm saying?
it's good to have those conversations and pick the brains of somebody that's been doing it a while because, like I said, you never gonna make all the mistakes by yourself.
Yeah,
So, and
man.
it's good to learn from other
I
people.
fucked
You get
up
what I'm
too,
saying?
man. You know, I've
Yeah,
had
100%.
so nice, man. You've been rocking with me so long that
Oh, no, I've
you've
seen
seen me have an empty room before. You know
Oh.
what I'm saying? And you've also seen me have overcapacity rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm at this place where capacity is like a consistency, but that took an actual hunger. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is too, you got to dedicate time to whatever it is you want to do. I decided that I want to be the best DJ. So that's why I put so much hours into it. So when I come to any event, I just go in. Am I the best DJ? That's not for me to decide. But I sure as hell try to give the best experience to the people that are there so that you do want me back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff just comes with it. If you're putting in like real legit work into your craft and you love what you do, people gonna respect it and keep coming, bro.
1,000%. The next question I have for you is, you're a man that stays busy, right? I know you have your own clothing brand, you have your store, you DJ, you drop music. So it's like, what do you currently have your hands in right now?
My main
so
focus.
so people can know to access you for different things, because you don't just go play music at a spot and just
Go home.
and go home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a man of many hustles, man. But you know, my thing is do it while you're young, and not by your age, by like your health and your mentalness. Like how young are you feeling? You know, I'm turning 30 tomorrow, but that's not gonna cap me on doing anything that a 19-year-old is doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like I want to be able to just do it while I got the energy and drive to do it. While I want to be the best at everything I'm doing, I'm gonna do it. So my main focus right now is DJing. That's why I focus and started putting my brand everywhere. And I also have my T-shirt store. I make custom clothing, And Gary's came to my store before.
Tries to customize
I
pro.
can see your
Yeah,
store.
Customized Pro. It's in the town center Boca Mall next to Snipes and Nordstrom. So
It's not easy to get a store in Pokemon.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's another
you
thing
paying
too.
a grip.
Listen, I'm not allowed to discuss that, but it probably is what you think it is, yo. To be real with you,
Believe what you want to believe.
believe what you want to believe, man. Is she 5'2" or 5'2", bro?
I like that.
It's just you just have to really want to do it, bro. Because my main reasoning for choosing Boca Mall, I could have easily done any other mall.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I chose Boca because I wanted to open the door for us.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
That was my focus.
And you want to put yourself next to excellence.
Exactly. I didn't want to settle for less. I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it the best. So now I've had people ask me of all different races, not just black people, ask me, how do you get a store? How do you do this? How do you do that? Just like there's the niggas that's out there that's more focused on real estate. I'm focused on stores, because I want the money that's going to come now, the residual income, so that I can buy the houses, you know what I'm saying? And not have to take a loan from the bank, because when you're taking loans from these banks, bro,
Bye-bye credit.
that APR is high, yo. But focus on your credit, man. That's all I can say. Fix your credit, man, because that shit has more value than your actual bank account, yo.
You should.
I could be broke right now, but at least my credit gonna save my ass, So, or give me what I need to get.
Yeah.
Like,
Before I ask my last question, is there anything you want to ask him, or do we just close it out?
I just want to close it out. But one thing I want to say about you, Pat, bro, like out of everyone I know, you definitely one of the people out like that definitely treat me like a brother. For sure, because you've gotten me into like a lot of exclusive, crazy rooms at a young age. Like Pat is always like when he sees me, it's like, "Hey, yo, bro, young Gary, bro, what's up? What you need, bro? I'll do
Gary,
it."
dog.
It's like one thing about Pat, bro, is like one word I don't hear from Pat a lot is no. For sure,
Nah, you show love. You show love.
That's one thing about Pat is like he'll always, and even if he doesn't say no, even if it's like he doesn't want to try to do something, he's not gonna tell you no. It's a delayed yes.
Very delayed, yes. No, I try, bro, and I think that's the one thing that does keep people coming to my stuff. Another factor but I'm too humble to realize it in a sense, is that yes, I'm very, very nice. I just know when to be an asshole. So what I always tell people who's just meeting me, I'm like, hey, I'm an asshole with a big heart, because it's like I know when to be loved, and I actually do give a fuck about people. I do a lot of things, charity events for homeless and you name it, that I don't put on camera because that's not what it's for. But I am starting something that I am going to show the world. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a building process. So I really do try to be nice to everybody. And I've heard that from multiple people. Like, yo, I keep supporting you because you're not a fuck nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
One last flower I gotta give you. You one of the few people, I remember when we first started the podcast, you were one of the first people to reach out and says, yo, try this idea. I respect that on a whole different level because it's like you're not trying to see what I'm trying to do and try to replicate it. Because you could have easily started your own podcast. Because at that point, you probably had the funds, the connections to do your own thing.
You always have the space.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, clearly, if you could position yourself in the mall, you could position yourself in a fucking studio and record a podcast. So it's just like, to me, it's so much value that comes with just dropping gems and walking away and showing people you don't need shit from them. Because that stick with me. Because I'm like, oh, shit. I could just have an idea with Pat and it's not about the money. Or he's not going to want to check for him to give me an advice. And this is not a relationship based on money. You get what I'm saying? It's just pure, like, I want to see you win type of shit. So
I do. That's really what it is.
I definitely respect that.
And I appreciate that, bro, because that's really what it is, man. I really want to see people win. Like, I'm known for giving so many people jobs. Whether they keep the jobs or not, that's entirely on them and their misbehaviors or whatever it is. But I've given so many people jobs, whether it's in the club, working at my stores.
That was
being
the
an
best feeling
assistant.
about Sunday, by the way.
Yeah, and listen, when
we were the last ones to get paid.
Exactly.
Just so anybody
bro,
else.
like, yo, like, listen, bro, I literally had to have one of my other business owner friends tell me, yo, pay yourself first, bro. But that's just really not me, bro. Like, I know my money's gonna come eventually. Like, I put enough things that are growing for me to get to that point. Like, I'm not rich, but I sure as hell will be. You know what I'm saying?
1000%.
Because I'm rich with love right now. I'm rich with health. Like, I'm just rich with just wanting to be here and do things for people. So when I saw you guys start this podcast, I called y'all. I even offered my store to y'all as a place for you to do this at. You know? Because it's
you
just
and
like...
Bones. Shout out to Bones as well.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, Bones, my good dude right there, man. So, like, I really just want y'all to flourish. Like, Gary is a brother to me. The reason why I met him is kind of ironic and funny, but I always kept in touch with him. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
And then even with you, bro, like, every time I saw you, you show love, whether it's randomly in the mall or at one of my events. You never once asked me to get into anything free, both of y'all. But still, you don't pay anyway because I happen to see y'all anyway and say, yo, come on up, bro.
At the right moment. It's always at the right moment.
Always at the right moment. Or, like, I see it on the camera even. I'm like, yo, shit, that's my dog Gary. Let me run down there real quick. Even when I was DJing on Sunday, I took the second to get off, put a long song, like 8-minute song, to go say hi to Gary. Because, you know, like, there's just not that many people that get that genuine, who get Pat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets Renaissance. But for you to get Pat, bro, it's like...
It's rare.
Yeah, like, even if you call me Pat, I know that you actually know me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, we good.
All right, so now we've been humble this whole episode. Let's close it out with a bang. Now just let the people know how your weekend is going to go. And, of course, you're going to be one of the highlights at my brunch this Sunday. So just talk about where you want the people to be and meet you at this weekend. Because I know you're going to celebrate all fucking weekend.
Hell yeah, I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating shit tonight when I leave here, man. Triple chicken on my Chipotle, man. No, I'm sorry.
Man. Because like X is wrapping this up. We gotta
Yeah. Okay, so you can catch me this Sunday at the FML brunch. Then I'm gonna be at Lost Sundays, where I do every Sunday, and then after that, Playhouse too. So we're doing a bunch of different things all on Sunday. I kept it all in one day for y'all. You got no excuse, and I say birthday to me. Pull up. I want to see y'all. You know what I'm saying? We out here. Sure. Happy birthday to me.
And where can the people find you, my guy?
You can find me on Instagram, Talk to DJRP. Same thing with my TikTok and everything. Talk to DJRP. And make sure you come to my store, Customized Pro. Yes, sir. Town Center Mall, Doka. I'm there.
Thank you for coming up, bro.
Yeah,
anytime, y'all niggas, man.
For sure.
Sure, man. So where you go by?
Yeah, man. I go by the name of Cheech, a.k.a. I'm behind the hottest brunch in Palm Beach. A.k.a. I'm popping my shit because I put my money where my mouth is. A.k.a. we out here getting this money, man. Creating residual income, giving people jobs. Nah, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, I go by the name of Gary, aka In Gary We Trust, aka the flyest nigga in the room with $5 in his pocket. Hey,
that's funny. Oh man, yeah, man. This has been These Are the Aesthetics, and we'll catch you next week.
Peace.